How's it going? Brandon here from the blues rock band Teskey. I've been getting some questions about my rig lately. We're recording a live album coming up on Wednesday at the Rhythm Room, and I thought I'd just run you through my rig real quick and you can kind of see what's going on. So yeah, starting out, I'm running a wet-dry signal. I don't usually do this, but for this show, because I want a good dry amplifier that doesn't have any effects besides like overdrive on it, I'm running the dry signal through this vintage 1966 JTM 45 and this vintage 1969 cabinet, and it has vintage greenbacks in it, and the one I like the best is the 20-watt one. It's right there, and it sounds amazing, and that's my primary speaker I like to record with. And then the other amp, which I'm running wet with reverb and delay, is this Custom Audio OD100. And the one, I mean, this is like the Swiss Army knife of cool amps, because the one channel is like a perfect Fender, almost Dumble-ish kind of sound. And then the other channel's kind of like a Marshall Super Lead. And this has greenback reissues, but one of the speakers in there is a vintage one, which I'll be probably mic'd up. And then, yeah, as far as the pedals, here's my board. I got this G2 switching system, which definitely was a must singing and playing and remembering lyrics and soloing and switching back and forth between different effects and settings. And so basically everything's running through that. And then for my primary just kind of overdrive, I'm using the TS-808 for most everything, for like rhythm and kind of dirty, kind of bluesy leads. And then for a lot of rhythm stuff, I use this vintage fuzz face. The TS-808's from like, I think 80, I think it's an 81 or 80, and then the fuzz face is from 1969. And then I have an RC booster for just a clean boost. And then my primary overdrive is a Zen drive. For the album that we just recorded, I used a Klon Centaur for most of it, but I just recently switched over to the Zen drive, and I've been liking that. And then underneath the, and then also the tubes, or the wah pedal is a vintage Vox from like 1968, I believe. It's a original Clyde McCoy. And then I have an RC booster for the clean boost. And then under the hood, I'm using the shotgun to split the signal. So one side goes to the JTM 45 and the other side goes to the Custom Audio. I have an Octafuzz in here for kind of the Hendrix Banded Gypsies kind of sound. And then I'm using Catlin bred Bella Epoch for echo. It's kind of like an exact, pretty exact copy is like EP3 Echoplex, which is what I use in the studio. And then the Topanga Catlin bred spring reverb is pretty close to actual like 60s reverb tank, which I also use in the studio. And then for guitars, I got this 1966 Telecaster. I'll be using that a lot during the show. Someone stripped down the finish, which is the only reason I could afford it. And yeah, it's got original pickups, and it's just an awesome sounding guitar. And then the other two guitars I'll be using for the show is this 1965 Strat, and that also has the vintage pickups in it, and it's all original. And then my 1965 ES335, which is one of my two favorite Gibsons. And that's pretty much it. That's it for the rig. I use either SM57s or vintage SM57s, which are the Unidyne 3 to mic the amps, or the Bayer M160. And then I use Diodario strings, and if I'm not using vintage pickups, I'm using Lindy Fralins, which make about the best replacements. They come so close you almost can't tell the difference. But yeah, that's what I'll be using for the show, and yeah, hope to see you there.